I don't want to be at work today, but gotta get this schmack. I've never been kicked out of anywhere, and I'm so worried. Like, I feel like in this industry, there's no space for me.
If I book you for an event to do a specific service, I expect you to do that service and get the fuck on. Just because your boyfriend broke up with you or cheated on you or you have an issue within your relationship does not mean you can come and project at somebody else's wedding. Wedding. Sitting there crying in front of these people's faces, big boohoo tears in front of these people's faces, trying to be a part of an event that never involved you, you were never invited to. All because I just felt so much love. I didn't understand. You weren't there to feel love. You were there to get paid, do your job and get paid. And you're right. Maybe this industry isn't for you if you do not know how to conduct your feelings when doing business. Because guess what? Fucked up shit happens all the time, but the world still goes on. Life still goes on. Shit still happens. If you cannot control your emotions while doing the job, maybe that just, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Then have the audacity to record the wedding, be all up in the aisles, trying to conduct the photographer what to do. You were there for makeup, babe. Fuck is you talking to the photographer for? For you to do all of that and then post about it, post the wedding, post the bride's shoes, post the bride, post everybody before the bride could even get a chance to regroup from the wedding, unwind, and post herself? Hello? Like, I'm not understanding the disconnect. Like, was the breakup that hard on you that you lost your fucking marble?
Across that lady who got hired to do hair and makeup at that woman's wedding, and she stayed the entire day at her own free will and offered to stay the whole entire day to make content after she did the people's hair and makeup. I dead ass thought that was like satire.
So I am the owner of the wedding hair and makeup company, Tequila. We are one of the largest Black-owned hair and makeup company teams on the East Coast, and I came to show y'all a glimpse of what we be having going on at weddings. So I just pulled up to Piranha Farms. So let's get in here and see what we got going on. Hi, appreciate. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Oh, let me see. Oh, the hair is
This is my mom.
let me hug you real quick.
For a quick second, if you didn't say it, I don't even know that was yours.
You even know it's me? No.
She was looking like,
Yes. Okay.
sorry.
You do touch-ups on everybody too, Geneva? Do you, Judy, do touch-ups on everybody?
I'm not sure.
Do you ask them? Are you doing it now?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. I gotta hurry up and get my ass over to the
You're the star of the show. Nothing's going on without you.
Here. Nothing.
No.
And me too, though. Yeah. Like, I'm a predator.
Everybody's on
We
your
are
side.
like one.
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
Where she go, I go, she go.
A package deal.
I just know that Joey has already made it clear. He's like, I know Violet was getting there on time. I don't know if Lemon was getting there on time. And I was like, we can get there on time. Leave me alone. So we're gonna, that lady's gonna be like, that's a crazy.
Yes, kid. Look at we got the same name. Hey, let me see your ring. Woo, you look so good. Oh my God, Kiana, you look so good. Take a look.
Oh, I love. We got singers over there. I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic.
How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel bride.
Oh, period. It's giving bride.
It's giving bride.
It's giving bride.
love.
Yes, you look so pretty. Yeah, I just finished. I need to hurry up and pack up because I'm going to the venue to stay on location. And it's giving, so I've been recording and vlogging this whole wedding, so it's up in this stock. Wait till y'all see this.
But he getting married.
All right, we'll see you later, Joe. Let me give you.
Thank you so much.
I was trying to give you a nice picture there, you know.
Oh, sorry.
I figured some of you.
Sorry. You and his tongue out. Yo, you and his tongue out. I like have you with your tongue out at the moment.
I literally don't even
Yo, we've been having fun.
I really
all
just feel
day.
like that evolved from the fake.
All right, turn around towards Miki.
Oh God. That's where I was looking.
All right, turn around again for me. Yes, turn your head to the left. Okay, now turn it to the right. Now turn around at me again.
Hello.
Yes.
This one came out.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, wait, hold on. Hold up, I got you.
Sorry. I just didn't want it to be in the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like on it. Thank you.
I think like the most difficult dress to get into.
Is all secure in?
I don't think it's secure, but it's like where it's supposed to be. Yeah, grab the chair. I was thinking that you might need it. Do you need to move that stuff?
Can we, is this, I don't wanna, can we move it real quick? I just wanna grab the chair real quick and steal it, cause I'm too short.
Okay.
You know what? I said that when you watch that. Oh, yeah, short king. That's what it is.
Fix the boobies. Fix the abs.
Like downward?
I gotta get you, Mom. You look so fire. Mom, where? Look at the sister of that ball.
And the longer you take, the better.
Yes. We'll do that little turnaround one more time, Alyssa.
Yeah. I did my makeup in the car on the way here, by the way.
Whose wedding day is it?
Who's getting married? Put you in a video. Yeah, while you're doing that, and then hit the camera, and then look like you could drop the camera and then turn back. Yeah.
Okay, alright, I'm scared right now.
Don't be like. All right, go ahead. Hit me with the turnaround. There we go.
You look
Camera. Yeah, better not.
No crying, no crying. We're ready for you, Kiana. I forgot what she's doing. I know, we're going to turn around and see her for the first time. Oh my God. We're supposed to be short. Hi. We got to close that door. Oh, sorry. I hear Kiana.
Be the girl. No, we're doing the first look. Okay, we're doing the first look. Yes, we're doing the first look. Don't try me.
Thank you, security.
Top right.
Thank you for your makeup and security.
Top right. My little baby. I remember you were in 4th grade.
I know. We already saw her.
Okay, that's enough. Rachel, you just broke down. Come here, girl. You did so. It's scary! Oh my God! God help me.
GQ.
You took some pointers from Will.
And chin down as
That wasn't even planned. You just happened to bring some.
exactly.
Like,
Give me GQ. Give me GQ.
And he's wearing what?
He's wearing.
Wow, look at you.
Uh-oh. It's a TikTok bad phone.
Hey, Mom.
You've been banned from TikTok.
Yeah, I'm still working.
She has to hold the phone.
I saw your collection. Oh, it's pretty neat. I know.
Melissa, you all in a...
We gotta go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So in this video, I am kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I cannot determine whether or not who is in the wrong for this video, because this young lady, she is a makeup artist who is very popular, and she's been doing people's makeup for a really long time, and you can kind of tell that this is her way of doing things. And she was hired by this bride to basically do her makeup for her wedding. And at the end of the night, the makeup artist was kicked out of the wedding. And I want you guys to basically tell me, what do you think? Who is in the wrong? Was it her, the makeup artist, for what she did and also all the things that she put out before the bride even have a chance to? Or do you think the bride is in the wrong for kicking her out after she told her that she could stay? And do you think the makeup artist actually overstayed her welcome in the whole wedding? Because to me, I just felt like she was doing her job.
It's not just about enduring, but contentment. Choosing to love each other in the silence of every day.
Hey, Melissa. Please don't get in my video.
Yeah, she's especially cute.
So that was all the footage that I got to get from the wedding, but I'll continue to tell you guys the story. I hadn't realized that I've been ignoring my pain the entire day. So I really hadn't realized what I was going through. And I've been having such a good time with these people, and I felt so much love that I couldn't even believe that this groom was talking to me that way, especially when I hadn't done anything to him. I hadn't done anything to anybody that day. The only thing I did was show up, do my best, and be my best. I just wanted to make sure that this bridal party really enjoyed. I just wanted to do everything that I could to make sure that the day was perfect for them. But obviously, I was doing something to get on somebody's nerves. As I am bursting out in tears, the bride is consoling me, and she's like, no, like, I don't want you to leave. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm really in tears because I just can't believe that all this stuff is happening to me this weekend. A host of other personal problems that I got going on in my life. I'm in this crazy space. I was just so emotional. I couldn't do nothing but break down. I just felt so weak. I felt so made a fool out of. I felt so vulnerable, like I was being kicked while I was already down. And I just felt like I had given this bridal party everything that I had. I didn't have much to give, but I gave it. I gave it all I got. I gave it all my energy. Y'all can see, I literally went above and beyond. I was on my feet for over 12 hours. I was giving it everything I had. I just want everything to be special for them. I knew I wasn't in the best space, but I'm like, these people are literally having one of the biggest days of their life. Like, I just want to make sure that this shit goes well, and I just want it to just be good vibes and good energy. So I decide I'm going to leave. I told the bride, I said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. I don't want to be ruining anybody's day. My heart broke in that moment. I've never had that happen to me. You know, I thought about it and I was like, you know what, my bride, I went out to my car. I think I went to the store to just get something. And I was like, you know what? My bride doesn't want me to leave. I was like, I might as well just stay. So I went back and I drove into the botanical garden. I parked right back in the same spot that I was parked at. Before I walked in there, I was like, you know what? Go back, get what you need. You are stronger than that. Don't let nobody break you down. So I went back in there and I went back in there with my head held. When I got back in there, I went straight into the cocktail hour. I had my head held high. I'm not gonna let nobody break me down. I'm good. Like, maybe he just had a moment. Maybe he just needed to cool off. I did nothing to him. I sit down and, you know, I see the bride and we're talking and she's like, you're good. Like, you're fine. Her mom telling me, you know, stay. Like, we really love you being here. We love your energy. The mom, me and her, we still just vibing. It's still just like a vibe. I mean, I dusted off. I was like, you know what? Let me let that go. Then I go back out of the cocktail hour and I go and sit down with a couple groomsmen. So I'm sitting with the groomsmen, I'm chilling. They like, yo, you look tired. I'm like, yo, I've been on my feet since like 7 o'clock this morning. I left out at like 6 o'clock in the morning to just get here. So I've been on my feet all day. Like, I ain't really had no breaks. I had a bagel and then I just ate some food from this cocktail hour. After that, one of the assistant planners came up to me and she goes, can I talk to you to the side? And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even feel like getting up here. I'm just ready to get the last couple shots of these videos and this content that I need for this wedding, and I'm ready to go. So I told her, I was like, you know, if you got something to say, you could just say it right here. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not even that deep at this point. So she goes, oh, like, the couple does not want you here anymore, so you're gonna have to leave. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm trying to process what's happening. The couple wants me to leave. Like, what did I do? Like, I'm just so confused. On top of that, this is just like super embarrassing. Whether I would have went to the side with her or not, this is something that I know was being talked about. So it's already just embarrassing. Said it didn't matter. This is my reputation. This is my company. I'm self-made. I built this on my own. And this is just like crazy. And I didn't do anything to anybody. I'm so confused. So I end up getting up and I'll start walking by. And again, I'm about to burst out in tears because I'm just like, nah, like, there's no way that all of this stuff is happening. There's just no way. So I pulled the bride and I was like, oh, can you come here? And she was like, oh, you about to leave? I see you or whatever. So I was like, nah, like, come here. So I understand that you and your husband want me to leave. I was like, I didn't do anything to anybody. I don't even know what's happening. Like, I'm so confused. Now I'm sitting there about to start crying again because I'm just really confused. So I was like, you know what? Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your wedding day or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead and go. Mind you, I see security literally watching me. So y'all were about to get a security guard to remove me from out the wedding as if I need to be forced out, like as if I'm begging to be here. Like, for real? When I tell y'all, it was so embarrassing and so crazy because I literally did nothing to nobody at this wedding. I do appreciate to the bride for being apologetic about what happened. That was crazy and it was unacceptable. It was disrespectful. I maybe think I was the only black vendor. I don't know. I'm the only black vendor that I saw, and I was treated that way. that was fucked up. That was mad fucked up what y'all did to me. I only gave y'all good energy that day, and that was so fucked up.
I don't know if God is trying to tell me to get out of this industry. I was kicked out of a wedding tonight. I've never in my life have been kicked out of a wedding for doing absolutely nothing. I've never been kicked out of anywhere. And I'm so hurt. Like, I feel like in this industry, there's no space for me. And I love this industry so much. And I love working with brides. And I love doing fun stuff. I love being able to bring out content. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if God is telling me, like, that this is not the place for me. I barely even work weddings anymore. If I come out to your wedding, it's so rare for me nowadays. When I come and I work a wedding, I try to give my all. And I stayed at this wedding. I'm so fucking hurt. Pour my heart and my soul into this industry.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it on this note. When your light shine as bright as mine do, my light shines so bright, people can't take it. They can't take me in this industry. They can't take it. My light shines so bright. This company is 5-star rated across the board. I have never in my life been removed from anywhere. Always been professional, and anybody that worked with me could tell you, I've always been professional. I've always been organized, and I'm gonna stay on my shit. I will never let nobody, I don't care who it is, I'm never gonna let nobody bring me down. I'm never gonna let nobody make me wanna quit what I do. I'm gonna keep doing what I do for Black women, and I'm gonna keep going up in this wedding industry. And if you can't stand that my light shines so bright, fuck you.
I blame the nigga. It's the nigga's fault. All this boils down to a nigga. It's always their fault. And another thing, maybe it's just the introvert in me. If I have a inkling, a feeling that somebody doesn't want me somewhere, you don't have to worry about me no more. I'm out. Like, if I even feel the slightest, like, eye roll or I feel like an energy shift, I'm collect my balance and I'm out. As a service provider, work is done, I'm out. I don't want to stay for your wedding if I don't know you. Like, what am I doing there? I really don't understand that part. Like, I have set up so many events and they have offered for me to stay. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to go take a nap so that I can be strong enough to come back and pack all the stuff up. I was listening to a live where the bridesmaids were telling us about what was going on. Apparently her whole team left and she stayed. I do not want to be sis right now. I mean, she might bounce back. She might have to rebrand and not be the face of her brand anymore. Because, I mean, it's TikTok. It's going to blow over. But that was literally the worst business decision I've ever seen anybody make as a small business. If I were her assistants or the people that are with her, I would be so pissed. Like, how are you messing up my bag because...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't she sitting at the groomsmen table at the reception? Didn't she follow him around outside? All these single handsome men here after she just got cheated on, I don't know. She was really plotting, that's why she came back. But I digress. Also, if a bride and a groom go into a room and they close the door behind them, the last thing you should do is go into that room. Just, oh, my makeup bag is in there, I gotta go get it. And it's shocked that the groom cussed you out? You don't know if they was in there hunching. You don't know if they was in there drinking. You don't know what they was doing. Secondly, the bridesmaids came out and said she was even trying to play security. Wouldn't even let the mama and the sister come and see the bride before the wedding. What really pissed me off the most is she stood in the aisle during the ceremony. She didn't take a seat somewhere. She stood straight there with her phone sitting up in a hoodie. The bridesmaids was like, oh, we were just too scared to say something. We didn't want to, interrupt the ceremony. She is standing up in the aisle, a stranger at your friend's wedding. If somebody don't snatch her? I know people are saying, oh, what about the wedding planner? Why wouldn't they say anything? Apparently, the bridesmaids said that a bunch of people kept trying to get her to leave. They said the wedding planner had been trying all night. The mother-in-law, some of the friends, the other people at the wedding kept trying to push her to leave. She just wouldn't go. To top it all off, this is something from the wedding photographer. And guess who it is right there? I don't know how many more pictures she's in either.
I really think I just need full clarification on a situation. Like, what are we talking about when you say, oh yeah, I got booked to be a makeup artist at a wedding, but I'm just gonna stay and go to the wedding? Like, I don't think you were invited to be at the wedding. And then while you're at the wedding, you're not acting like everybody else who was actually invited to the wedding. You are sitting up here filming the wedding, bothering the groom, you're bothering the bride, and you're filming every goddamn thing like this is your wedding. And then gonna have the nerve to throw in there, oh yeah, I got cheated on and I just really felt really hurt and I confided in the bride. So are you invited? Like, why are you still here? And then you're sitting up here making my hubby bubby mad. You telling me a bridesmaid didn't want to take her to the side and teach her something? Like, are you serious? Like, you knew you wasn't invited to that wedding. You knew you was not invited to that wedding. You were acting ignorant. You was acting ignorant with them people. Came to TikTok to try and vent and tell your story like you're in the right here. You're not. You weren't invited to the wedding. As soon as the groom gets mad and was like, get the hell up out of here, hit the door, and delete our wedding out your picture, out your gallery, you wanted to boo-hoo cry and then pull the bride to the side talking about so your man don't want me here. Girl, you were booked for 4 hours of work. Why is it 3 p.m. and you're still here lollygagging? Oh my goodness, you would have thought this lady was the videographer. You would have thought that she was finna sit up here and edit everything, send it to them. No, you were there to beat a face. You was there to beat a face. You're not there to get everything on camera. And you really ran to TikTok trying to tell your story. Now when everybody's sitting up here saying that you was not, you know what I'm saying, in the right, I don't want you to delete your TikToks. I need you to stand on business. That's all I'm saying.
I take it back. I do not feel bad for Keziah, the makeup artist from the Key Look, that literally had to get escorted out of that wedding, because it turns out she had done the same thing the literal day before and had to be escorted out of that wedding as well. I just saw this video from the vendor that made the video about the wedding from the day before, so let me give you a little brief synopsis on it because her video is like 9 minutes long. And I'm going to tag her below in case you want to watch the video. Keziah showed up at this wedding the day before with 2 other partners that do either makeup or hair. And they had a lot of girls to take care of. They were allotted a fair amount of time. And they ended up running 2 hours overtime. When the bridal party, the coordinators, the mothers of the bride, and the groom said something about them running so much time over, they were very nasty and very hostile. They were running so late because they were doing the content creation thing again. And no, they were not hired for content creation because the person that literally is telling the story was the person that was hired for content creation. Keziah took a 40-minute lunch break knowing how much time they were over, came back to the bridal suite crying, and then proceeded to cry for the rest of the services. Said that she didn't want to do the makeup of the mothers of the bride and the groom in front of them. Was on their phone so much, stopping and doing content during trying to do people's makeup, that is why they ran so far over. And they were on their phones trying to think up dinner plans. Left the bridal suite to go take video of other vendors setting up. Pulled the bride out of the bridal suite to make this like 10-take TikTok that she didn't want to make. Attempted to hang around after to film more content. Got in the way of the photographer, videographer, and the hired content creator. And the last straw was when she tried to film and get involved in the couple's first touch. And then a member of the family like literally kicked her out. There was another separate wedding going on, and she proceeded to walk through that wedding with all of her gear instead of walking around the wedding. I don't know if I received her original videos wrong. I know a lot of people in the comments of my original videos, some people agreed with me for feeling bad. Some people were like, girl, you are dumb. Which obviously I'm dumb. Thank you for letting me know. Sometimes it does not pay to be empathetic.
So the saga kind of continues a little bit here from where I left off in my last video. One of the bridesmaids did make a comment on our video here and is saying that she was, she was asked to leave. This is the makeup artist that ended up getting kicked out of the wedding on September 7th. She was asked to leave several times by several different people, and she is also in the background photos. And honestly, if this was me, I would cry. I would cry. Like, I don't want somebody, not only if it had ended at them doing makeup, I think that would have been fine. And then if she ended up being in some photos, but not the first look, but whatever. If she ended up being in some photos, I wouldn't be too upset. I probably would cry a little bit, but not be like too upset. But now also there's this whole saga too, where she overstayed her welcome. The bride had to end up consoling her. Several people asked her to leave. She wouldn't leave. She left, and then she came back. And supposedly some of the bridesmaids were also on a live yesterday, and they were talking about how the bride didn't tell her to come back. That I think she was consoling her after the maid of honor. So not the maid of honor, after the wedding planner asked her to leave, and then she confronted the bride. The bride would just consoled her and said, like, I'm so sorry that you're upset, and that was really it. Like, she didn't say stay. And I don't know. And I'm not sure if the bride was just so uncomfortable, if at some point she was like, you don't have to go. Like, sometimes when we're uncomfortable, we say things we don't really mean. And the problem is sometimes, like, this is just a lesson, a PSA to all of us, that we don't know who we're saying that to. We're saying, oh, it's okay, you can stay, to somebody that we're hoping that person can read cues of, like, the way we're saying it is like, no, please go. But I don't want you to cry, but I also don't want you to, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know you like that, so I don't know if you're going to cause a further scene. Which it seems like she did. So I can also understand the bride being like maybe a little bit too nervous to like be firm. So then, hey, she ends up deleting the 3-part series. Good on her. Then she ends up uploading an apology video. Not so good on her, because at first, the beginning of the apology video is solid. She first says that, like, hey, I'm not trying to, I'm going to make a short apology video. I'm not trying to keep you guys too long. Spoiler alert, it was long. It wasn't short. But you know what? We already know our girl. And we knew it wasn't going to be short. So, hey, I locked in and I sat and listened to it. Honestly, there wasn't too much. It could have been shorter because she didn't really have that much to say other than repeating herself a lot. She did apologize to the bride and groom, but then she ends up going in on the groom later and talking about how he cursed at her and she didn't do anything to him. And she, she's always been super respectful, and, he wasn't respectful, but she's, she was raised right. I was like, oh, maybe not too much. Maybe no. She started going in the other direction. And you know what? I think this is also PSA of what is respectful in different situations. I think in this situation, you were disrespectful. Maybe you weren't cursing. Maybe you were very kind and you were asking permission. But at the same time, you weren't reading the social cues and the social etiquette of the situation, which ended up making you actually end up being rude. So I do think there's a little bit there of her maybe having a very black and white view of what being cordial is, or what being rude, what's rude and what's not rude. So there, I think there's something there that also she probably should dig into and learn about. She then goes in to say that she is invited a lot of times to stay at the weddings, to stay at the cocktail hours. Pretty much most of this is her just being like, hey, this happens to me all the time. And hey, my personality is not too much, because a lot of people have posted that, okay, your personality is too much. And she's like, no, that's not true. My personality is not too much. People like when people love my jokes. People love my personality. This is who I am. I'm a content creator. This is basically all the stuff that she was saying. I always get invited to stay at the wedding. I always get invited, so she's just defending herself and her actions. And it's pretty much obvious that we're not going to get a video of her understanding where she went wrong here. we're not going to see that arc in this story. Then, after me watching that 9-minute video, I go to her stories. And this girl just loves to double down. She loves to double down. She loves to double down. So she has, you know, the different clips of stories. One is of her of a thank you card from a bride. Great. I don't think any of us thought that every bride had a bad experience with you, but I think that's where her mind is taking it. So a lot of her stories are just showing that other brides have enjoyed her services. Then also, yeah, just more pictures of thank you cards. Then also a video of her just hugging some mother-in-law. I guess I think a wedding that she was at in August. Her hugging her just way too long. And it just really shows, I was like, yeah, this girl just doesn't know boundaries. I think there's a part of her that just very much, as soon as you start joking with her, I can see with her personality that people do start to feel comfortable around her. But the issue is she starts to feel too comfortable. And that's the part. They get their guard down, then her guard goes way down. And then it might be, by that time, it might be too late. At that point, she just like won't be able to read your cues anymore. She thinks you're family. And if it was me, I'd be like, no. Ooh, you got confused. I was laughing, you were funny, but now I would like you to go. And that's a part where I think she just starts missing things. She thinks if people are asking her to leave, she did something wrong. I'm like, no, we're asking you to leave because your job is done. Not that you did anything wrong. Like, the goal shouldn't be to stay at the whole wedding. And I think that is her goal. Her goal is to get invited to the wedding, and that's how she knows she did a good job. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, I think you got to work on that process of your measurement of when you did a good job. Then she also ends up pretty much ruining, like, I don't know, showing someone else's voice message from another bride that said like, hey, I would have asked you to stay, but you said like, you had to go, but I saw your TikTok and I was like, hey, you could have stayed. Did you ask that bride if you could post that voice memo on your stories? It just seems like a lot of her not understanding boundaries. Like, that's the issue, and privacy. So yeah. So we're just not going to see the arc of her understanding where she went wrong. That's not the arc that we're going to get. Okay, so I think this is going to be my last update on this. But the wedding content creator, Liz, from the wedding that the key look was at the day before, just made a video just going over how this lady, which, I mean, if you go through her all of her TikToks, her TikTok account, the key look, you can see that she's done this before. But Liz goes through how she basically almost ruined, or kind of ruined, another wedding she did the day before, the one she got kicked out of. Which actually, spoiler alert, she got kicked out of that one as well, the day before. Honestly, it's sad. It's sad, but it's also just like, you know. So what Liz ends up saying is that pretty much her and her crew, the key look, was late, like 40 minutes late. She, I guess, came in crying, as well as she was on her phone, like, most of the time, making dinner reservations, talking on the phone. And anytime that, like, the wedding planner or other vendors or even the mothers of the bride and the groom, like, approached her to be like, hey, like, ask about timing, because things were running late, she would get an attitude with them and get, like, really rude with them. Then also, even though they were running late, she ended up taking a 40-minute lunch, leaving the premises, and then came back crying, and then continued to bawl and cry while doing other people's makeup. I mean, honestly, it's just so uncomfortable. It's just so uncomfortable. I could not imagine. So then she also, at some point in the middle of the makeup aspect of things, she took the bride out of the bridal suite and pretty much kidnapped her, held her hostage. She held this bride hostage and had her do like a 10 take a 10 take TikTok, like literally how they're doing multiple takes, where content creator, the wedding planner, and the other bridesmaids were looking for this bride because they were like, where is she? And then had to literally take the bride away because she was not done trying to do multiple takes of this TikTok. Like what? Like what? I don't think we can't even make this up. We can't even make this up. So then, pretty much, long story short, she made the whole bridal party late by 2 hours because with all of her shenanigans and continuing, one of the other things that made them 2 hours late was because even though she was needed to continue to do the makeup and hair, her and her other staff would leave to take more content videos of other vendors, of like of other vendors doing their stuff, of them like setting up the venue. I was like, stick to your job. Stick to your job. So she made the bridal party 2 hours late. They actually missed out on taking photos with, I think, the groom's family, which is so sad. Like they literally missed out on taking photos with a whole group of family because everything was so late. And you know how it is, like when you book a venue, you have till this time and this time, like things have to be on time. And honestly, if the bridal party doesn't have their makeup done, if the bride, if everything's not done, then things are going to be late. Like you can't go forward until the bride's fully dressed and ready. And if you've literally held her hostage making TikToks and made them late, then they're missing out on photos. They're missing out, like, you know, everything got cut short. And to make matters worse, I guess the bride and the groom did like, tried to do a very intimate first look situation. And even though they said it was only going to be like the bride and groom and maybe one other person there, she still tried to crash it and was running after the bride, trying to get her attention, to the point where the bride's brother had to get involved and literally escort her and her staff off the premises. She literally had to get escorted off because she once again tried to interrupt an intimate moment. Sound familiar? Sound familiar from the next day? Yep. Just the audacity. And the reason why she wanted to be there was so she can film it. Why do you need to film all these things? You are not the videographer. You are the makeup artist, the hairstylist. That's it. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. Like, you don't need to be a jack of all trades, okay? Literally, she ended up having to get escorted off, and she walked through another wedding to leave because she didn't want to walk around. Are you okay? Are you okay? Like, I'm going to answer for you. You're not. You're not. So that's the whole story with that. And also, she's on live right now. She's not really apologizing. She's not really answering any questions. She's taking some accountability, but also just telling stories about other brides that love her. But also Liz said that she keeps saying that she has apologized to the bride from the day before, from September 6th, and she has not. And she has not because she's not answering any of their calls, any of their messages, because they wanted to talk to her about what happened because they were upset with her services. But you can't make this up. You can't make this up. I think she's got a long road ahead of her. She's got a long road ahead of her. But this is my last update for the night. It's crazy. This is just crazy. But I'm back. Just another update. Just a little bit more information on the key look and her getting kicked out of the wedding. So I had somebody write into my comments about up here like this, about how we have a little bit more information about why the groom also might have been very upset. In one of my videos, I talked about how she had forgotten her brushes, and then she went into the bridal suite and interrupted the bride and groom. And then, so this, thank you so much, Chips and Salsa, for this comment, because what she had interrupted, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, was a yashad. You should. And that is a Jewish tradition where after the ceremony, the bride and groom, they can go anywhere. They go somewhere private for like 8 to 20 minutes after the ceremony. And sometimes they even have people standing outside of wherever they are so they're not interrupted. The history behind this is that, I guess more traditionally, brides and grooms were not allowed to be alone until after they were married. So this was a part of it, was like, after you get married, then you get that special, you get that privilege now to be alone. So after the ceremony, you get 8 to 20 minutes alone. Sometimes they can do it wherever, but this bride and groom decided to do that in their bridal suite. And it's actually quite important because it's not only it's a place for them to reflect, a place for them to, have that intimate moment to reflect on the day, to reflect on the fact that, that they're married now, that they just did this sacred ceremony. And if you're more traditional, this is the first time that you actually got to be alone together. So this tradition goes way back and is actually quite sacred. And when she went to go back and get the brushes, that's what she interrupted, which I'm like, so I can see now when at the reception, when she went up to the bride again and said hey, can we do a TikTok? The groom was pissed and he's like, no more TikToks. You're pissing me off. So I feel like that little bit of information is super, super important here, because he wasn't just upset about TikToks and getting interrupted, which also I feel like he would have been valid for, but also she interrupted a sacred moment that they will never get back. That is rooted in a long history of his religion and ethnicity. So it colors it a bit more on how destructive her behavior was. I just thought that was really interesting, and I just wanted to add that little bit here.
Listen, I'm a videographer, and I'm telling you right now, that would have never went that far, period, with that wedding. Once I realized that somebody is not respecting the vendor's code, and what I mean by the vendor's code, I mean that as vendors, we are there to work that wedding for them. We should all be on the same page and all be on the same team. We are working individually, but working together to make sure that day is special for the bride. And now, as a videographer, I am also there all day, but I'm also there just as early as the makeup artist, as the hair person, all of that stuff. I am there getting all the pre-footage wedding. I would have picked up on that immediately because I am getting footage of them getting ready. So that means I'm getting footage of the makeup artist, of the hairdresser, and things like that. I am supposed to get that kind of footage, but that footage goes directly to the bride and the groom. Now, if I was there, I would have picked up on kind of how too personable she was being. It is okay to laugh and joke with people, but at the end of the day, you are working for them. You are not their friend. Now, if you happen to actually be their friend or a family member and whatever, that's completely different. But when you are actually a stranger and you do not have any kind of relation or friendship or correlation with them whatsoever, you are there to do a job first. It is okay to enjoy what you do, but it's not okay to integrate yourself into their day like that. It was too much. And those people were being so nice because, she was harmless. That's what it was. She was harmless. She was funny. She was lighthearted. There was no ill intent. We can look at the content and see that there was no ill intent. You know what I mean? But the thing is, nobody spoke up whatsoever when it started to go left. So if you are planning to get married, it is very important that you have somebody in place that will speak on your behalf. It can be your wedding planner, it can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be whoever, but somebody, if you're not comfortable with confrontation, if you're not comfortable saying something to a vendor that you have paid to work your wedding, if you're uncomfortable addressing an issue that you see that's happening, there should be someone in place that can speak on your behalf. Now, according to the bridesmaids and the sister of the groom, the sister of the bride, things like that, they were saying that, you know, multiple people were kind of hinting to, or even addressing or saying, hey, you know, maybe you should go, that it wasn't just that the groom lashing out on her and then finally the wedding planner coming to say something. No, that was something that was actually getting hinted ahead of time, but nobody really was just like, hey, we need you to leave right now. They were still being nice, and unfortunately she didn't take the hint. Now, what I would have done professionally as a videographer, I would have actually pulled the bride and I would have pulled the artist, and I would have had them in a private powwow, and I would have been like, listen, I need to address this right now, because what she is doing is now hindering me from doing the job I'm getting paid to do. And I hate to say that I will even have to pull the bride in, but as we've seen, the brides 2 days in a row were uncomfortable addressing the artist. So therefore, that's when I step in as a professional, and I will bring them both together privately, not make a scene, and say, hey, I kind of need you to fall back because you are in my shots, and I can't get the different angles and shots and the footage that I need to get so that I can give them the wedding videos that I said that I could provide. You are hindering me from doing my job, and I need you now to either fall back or do whatever you're going to do, because I can't do my job properly. That way, somebody is addressing the makeup artist with the bride present. That way, we're all on the same page. She can't say she don't know. That takes her off the hook for even having to address her, especially if she's non-confrontational, especially if she's just letting this thing go. I actually would step in and do that. That is not even a part of my job, but a part of my job is capturing the wedding. And if you're stopping me from doing so, I am going to address you professionally.
That lady who came on here talking about how, like, the wedding, like, the makeup artist, girl, like, you how old? And you don't have any knowledge of social cues? Like, girl, just because y'all had good conversation and she was telling you about what was going on, that meant y'all were best friends now? Ain't this in New York? Ain't y'all, like, the most unfriendliest people? Like, I don't know. This all just sounds like a plot, like a scheme that's how I said, girl, you trying to get you a deal with Shonda Rhimes. Is it Shonda Rhimes? Yeah. It's so crazy. Like, girl, you came there to do the hair and makeup. You weren't getting paid for nothing else. I would not be sticking around if I was not getting paid for doing anything outside of hair and makeup. Like, you grown as you is, and you done went to what? High school, college, private school, like, did they not socialize you good enough to where you should know, like, girl, I'm not going to do this or that, and I'm not going to stick around, like...
To find out that makeup artist is an actual serial wedding crasher was not in my bingo card for 2024. According to the content creator that was at the original wedding. So the wedding that we saw was on a Saturday. The wedding that another person is talking about was the Friday, which is a day before the one that we saw. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I think I said what I had to say. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, making more videos about the same thing over and over. It is what it is. At this point, we just need to wait to see what these brides have to say about certain things. And I believe that there was a live last night where the makeup artist actually spoke to the bride of the original one. So the Friday wedding. I think there was a live. They went live. There was a couple people on the panel. They talked, but I didn't finish watching all that because at this point, it's just the embarrassment is there. She's apologized several times. Keep beating this girl down where she stands. It's highly unnecessary in my opinion. I'm just waiting to see, you know, where the wife of the second one comes in, and then maybe we could talk about that one. But you know, it is what it is.
There's actually another bridesmaid in this chat too, also named Rachel. Oh, and the other maid of honor is here, Toast. But
I only
anyway,
see 2 guest requests. I see Moochie and XXX.
no, it's Toast and another Rachel. But I can be the voice of the bridesmaids.
Yes, if the other bridesmaids are here, feel free to request. I'll run it by Rachel, make sure you guys are real. But Rachel is here to give the dolls what the dolls should have known. Rachel, speak your piece. You have the floor.
This is so crazy. Basically, I mean, she did great work. I have to say that. Like, she really did great makeup.
Also, I'm not going to take away from the actual bride. I know she's probably going to want to say her stuff. But yeah, like, I mean, she wasn't contracted to be a content creator, and we were fully aware that she was making content for makeup, and that was fine. It just kind of it was just when she started making content that was taking away from, you know, the hired photographer and videographers, content is when we started to kind of have a problem with it. Also, again, I don't know if anyone has been a maid of honor or a bridesmaid, but you are pulled in a million different directions, and you are just trying to make sure that the bride has a good day. And that day did not involve us getting physical or aggressive with the makeup artist. So that's kind of how that happened. That's why we didn't step in sooner, just because, again, like, we're not trying to start a physical altercation. And again, multiple people said something. The groom's mother said something. You could tell, like, again, we just thought that an adult could read the room, and that's not what happened. Because many, like, the photographer made some comments, the videographer, the wedding planner, like, there was all comments that were made that we kind of needed to stay to our timeline and kind of get things done, and it was just not getting across. So again, when she left and came back the second time, it was just, okay, we need to get security in here. I'm saying the lack of self-awareness, yeah.
Because that's the consensus of this thing, is that we need self-awareness. So from the initial part, she got there at 7 a.m., said that her boyfriend cheated on her like the day before.
Oh, we didn't know that, by the way.
That you guys didn't know.
At least personally, I didn't know.
Because as like a professional, exactly, which is fine. You're not supposed to know. That it has no bearing on the wedding day itself. That's number one. Where's Rachel?
I'm here. Am I still here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. So number two, we saw you guys did the first look. What was that like? Because from our perspective, it looked kind of awkward.
Do you mean the bridesmaids first look or the bride and groom?
The bridesmaids first look.
Yeah, I mean, it was, granted, like, at the time, at first, we were just like, all right, she's here, whatever. The strangers that she said that she was keeping out of the room were actually Kiana, the bride's family. So those were not strangers. Granted, they had their own first look with Kiana, but again, like, it was just funny that she was saying she was keeping the strangers out, but she was in fact a stranger. It was kind of awkward, I guess, like, having a phone in our face during that time, just because it was, like, supposed to be very special and, like, an intimate experience with us. And I mean, this has been said in a few comments too by, like, us, by me and the other bridesmaids. Like, you can see her in the pictures in the background of that first look. And we haven't seen all of the photos yet from the entire wedding, but I'm assuming that you're going to be able to see her in a few photos.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And then another question that we had, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, they're saying that it was an unplugged ceremony. Is that correct?
It was, yes. The officiant, she was also the groom's sister, and another bridesmaid made a comment like, you were able to take, like, one picture with your phone right when the bride got to the altar, and then put your phone away. But yes, she was in the aisle still filming with an unplugged ceremony. And that's kind of also what and that's, again, we don't have, Kiana and her husband are now on their honeymoon. They're not, so to see this, and they haven't even seen their professional videos of the wedding yet. To see this is almost the most disrespectful part. Like, they haven't seen their content, and then now someone's putting it, like, on the entire internet of basically the entire wedding. The only thing she missed was the dancing and the dinner. That was also more of like that was like a boundary.
I completely agree. I was telling the people on here, I've been a bridesmaid. It'll be my 4th time. I'll be a bride next year. And you already spend so much time, so much money planning for this, like, one day. Even though it's like, what, 5 to 7, 8 hours, you want to make sure that day is, like, the best possible. And I cannot imagine, because I looked at their photographers and videographer, their content, beautiful work. Somebody has an iPhone that's shoved in your face trying to do content, so to speak. And then you already have these people who you paid professionally to this work, it's heartbreaking. I can only imagine, you know, how the bride feels. It's very, very unfortunate, this like entire situation. And for her to even extend the time, being at dinner, being at cocktail hour, she said that she left, she came back, hung out with the groomsmen, all of these things. So internally, you don't have to share too much. I really want to, you know, respect the bride's privacy. How do you guys as like bridesmaids feel?
I mean, again, I said in the comments earlier, like, our friend is truly like the sweetest person alive. And she wasn't, we could tell she was kind of like uncomfortable, but you know, as a bride, you're probably anxious the whole day. And she wasn't outwardly saying at first, like, we need to get her out of here. And if that was the case, we would have done it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think, I mean, all of the bridesmaids without the bride were having conversations like, oh, like, she's kind of a lot, like, but you know, she's getting her videos, she's doing whatever. But it was like an internal conversation between all of us that we did realize and understand she was kind of like overstepping a bit. And again, like, she wasn't contracted to be a content creator, and the bride and groom are both not social media people. So for them, and this was something that was said in the videos too, like, there's the groom said something because obviously Kiana is a nice person and didn't want to have that confrontation, but he's gonna stand up, like, he's gonna stand up for his bride and he's gonna say something. And he kind of said, I think, what we were feeling.
Okay, the commenters have one question that I recently found this out. So she lost the bride, the groom's lighter. And apparently she was smoking during the wedding. Did you guys see that?
I didn't know. She kind of went wherever the bride and groom went. So they were taking a lot of like individual portraits and individual pictures. And maybe that happened when they were by themselves, but I personally didn't. I don't know if any of the other people in the chat did.
Okay. This is very helpful because the entire internet is ablaze by this random situation. I think she probably came on like, oh, we're going to take her side, but from start to finish, she didn't make a lick of sense.
This was crazy to see, like, my friends, all of my friends sending me content about this thing and seeing our face just randomly pop up on their For You pages. But it's definitely interesting. And I know a lot of people are saying that they want us to make a video. Obviously, we don't want to do that without the bride in it.
Per day.
But she does want to, so maybe at some point we are seeing the bride this weekend. So maybe we'll make one.
And one question to clarify, the MUA that made the video, did she do all of you guys' makeup and hair? Like only some people? I don't know if she actually, like, what did she do?
Halfway. So she brought a team. There were 2 hairstylists and 2 makeup artists that were all part of her team. So there were 4 total. But she was, her and the hairstylist who did the bride's hair, they were the only 2 who came to the venue to do touch-ups as they were contracted for until about 5 p.m. And the makeup artist was the one who stayed almost until like 8 or 9 p.m.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Oh, the person that's talking is Rachel. She's one of the bridesmaids that was in the wedding. She came to clear the air, say what's good for the bride, because the bride seems like a sweetheart. From the video, I can tell she seemed like a sweetheart. It's unfortunate, this whole debacle, especially you've only been married for 3 or 4 days. It's very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, very fresh.
Another question that the girls want to know. They want to know, did the bride ask the MUA to stay, or she was just contracted till 5, and then the bride was like, oh, girl, if you want to hang out, hang out.
It was kind of like she was contracted until 5, and the MUA was like, I'm having so much fun, like, I don't want to leave. And my friend was like, I mean, again, you don't think that when you ask someone to stay for a ceremony that they're going to insert themselves into being a vendor. It was more like, if you would like to stay and be a guest, again, not at the reception, at the ceremony, if you want to like see your work go down the aisle. And then again, like we've said this multiple times too, like it kind of just got out of control very fast once the invite was extended to the overstepping. But yeah, it wasn't like you can stay and create content. It was like, if you would just like to sit and be a guest for the ceremony, like you're more than welcome.
Absolutely, which makes a complete amount of sense because you want to take X, Y, and Z photos, put on your Instagram. Hey, I did this bride. Makes sense. But 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you're with the cleanup crew. That's a little bit questionable. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. They also want to know, I don't know if you would be able to answer this, because she mentioned that she ended up crying to the bride. Did that actually happen? I presume that it did, but I don't know if you'd be able to answer that.
That did. That was, so she did cry to the bride, and the bride was like, you know, like, he doesn't like the TikToks, he told you, and that was, she cried when the groom yelled at her. And then that was when she originally said, okay, I'm just gonna leave. And my friend was like, totally fine if you don't like whatever, you did your contracted time. And then so we were on the same page that she was leaving at that moment. And then after she was finished crying, then that's when she came back. So she left the venue because she was upset, and then she ended up coming back. Yeah.
Okay. I was mentioning to commenters, to be able to do all of that cry, somebody yell at you and still be able to come back is very concerning. That is, you really don't know how to read the room. You have to know when you're invited and disinvited. Hey, maybe this is the time that I should be staying here.
Yeah. And once she came back was kind of when, honestly, I didn't even see her come back, because once she was seen, the wedding planner kind of squashed it. And that's when security came, to really get her out.
I see. Everybody also wants to know, where's the wedding planner coordinator on this? Because I have my own wedding planner coordinator. I feel like for me, should be very, hey girl, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Does she have any thoughts?
Yeah, so she was the one who was trying to gently do that the entire time. Okay. And it was just not clicking. And again, no one wants to be physical or start a verbal altercation at a wedding, because it's still a wedding. But it was kind of, at first it was like, okay, like we have to stay on schedule. And then it was like, okay, if you don't get it this time, we have to move on. And we were kind of, the wedding coordinator was obviously just trying to like do what she could without starting any major problems. And then obviously she stepped in at the end and really got her out.
Okay. That makes, oh my goodness, people are saying she needs to get beat up. I don't think she needs to get beat up. I think that she unfortunately ruined her business. That's unfortunate, because her business model does make sense, but I'm not somebody who would hire her after this, especially for an unplugged ceremony. And you're not supposed to be using videos or photos, and then also you wanted to create content, but the bride hasn't even posted that content that you did. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be on your page.
Yeah, and it was an unplugged ceremony, so like nobody really had these photos or videos except for what was supposed to be the videographer, so it was kind of all supposed to be like a surprise. And I don't think that the bride and groom are like tainted by the, like, I know that it's upsetting.
Oh, I hope not.
It didn't completely ruin their day, obviously. But this is just like so crazy for them to wake up to and see, just because we didn't think that it was going to happen.
Absolutely. I hope they're having just a grand time on their honeymoon, because this is very, very unfortunate. They're asking if she was in the pictures, and Rachel says yes. And some of the photos that you'll see, she may be in the photos. I presume that the photographers, well, I don't know if you can edit out in the photos, in the videos, but I presume hopefully the photographer can edit out her in the photos.
We're unsure if she's going to do that for the ones that we send back, the sneak peeks. We could see her in some, but I don't know if the photographer will kind of do like a deeper dive when you get like the full gallery.
Oh, so you guys can see her in the sneak peeks.
She's in the background of some of the pictures. Yeah.
Oh man. Man, oh man. I didn't know it was that. I would be very upset as a bride. Woo! Okay. Poor girl. They're all saying that she hopes they're not in a bunch of photos. Love to the bride. She looks sickening. The entire internet agrees that her look was stunning. They're also asking if she was saying that the bride's mom asked her to stay. Did the bride's mom ask her to stay?
Not in any different way than the bride did when the artist was like, I don't want to leave. It was kind of like, oh my God, like, we'd love to have you sit at the ceremony. It wasn't like you have a full invite to do whatever you want.
Okay, and then they're also wanting to know, was she so our purview, it looked like she was fairly close to the altar. Was she as close to the altar as from what we saw?
Yeah, it was not that long. It wasn't like a church. It was a venue, so it wasn't like a church aisle or anything. So if she was in the middle of it, like the guests also fully saw that. Yeah.
Oh. And just to clarify, by the middle, you mean like if this is the aisle, she's standing like right here, or she's standing like just close enough to the guests?
No, she was like pretty wherever the photographer was. Like if it was dead center in the middle of the aisle, she was not far behind.
Okay. That's not good. Okay.
And again, you don't want to go up to someone in the middle of a wedding ceremony and say, like, get out of the way.
Yes.
We just kind of had to live with it. But yeah.
Okay. I was trying to find maybe a silver lining in this. No, she was in the middle of the aisle.
The silver lining is that we did all look amazing, and we all loved how our makeup came out, and we loved how our hair came out. And granted, like in the morning when we were, I mean, you could see in the videos, like we really were vibing with her. Like she was great, and she was so nice, and it was obviously very early in the morning, but she was making us really excited. And we were having fun there. And we were doing what we were told she was going to do with like taking videos of that kind of makeup and stuff. But obviously it just kind of got to the point of like annoyance and stuff at the venue. But I mean, the silver lining was getting ready was great, and the bride had a great day. So besides that,
great. The commenters also want to know if you heard the photographers or videographers saying anything, because some of the videos that we saw, they kind of looked like the photographer was like, girl, let me do my job.
That's kind of what the vibe was. There was like, if she was trying to take a TikTok, the photographer was like, okay, I need to take pictures of the bridesmaids now. Like, we kind of need to wrap this up. Yeah.
Okay. What about when she was crying to the bride about personal problems? That shouldn't have never happened, ever. Ever.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if she said this to like other bridesmaids. I didn't personally hear about her like relationship problems. So if she only did that to the bride, obviously, again, as you said, shouldn't have happened.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, and then another thing, because I know I don't like, my niche is like reality television. I don't do lifestyle content, but I know a lot of times when people do these types of videos, there's people in the video. Did she? Hey guys, you're gonna be in my TikTok.
Okay. And then Liz is the coordinator of that wedding. Okay, 9/6 wedding. And then Key is the makeup artist and the hair artist for 9/6 and 9/7 wedding. Okay, so she did the makeup for the bride HDN on 9/6 and also worked with Liz, the coordinator, on 9/6 as well. Okay, so just so everyone's clear, that's who that is. Yeah, let's not call anybody a villain or anything like that. I will turn off the comments, like I said, again. So let's try to be mature here, okay? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes, please keep it cute. The comments, the key look, I want to give you a chance to respond to what she said. If you feel comfortable sharing it on the platform, did you want to respond to? I'm not sure if she's here. I want to give her a second. Did you have anything to say? Okay, did you have anything that you wanted to respond to her or Liz that you feel comfortable sharing right now?
I do just want to say that I'm sorry, Haven, about what happened on your wedding day. It was never my intentions to go to work and bring my own personal troubles to your wedding day. I've never done that. We were running behind, and I completely apologize for that. That is not something that normally happens with our wedding day. So again, I apologize for that, and I apologize for making you feel any kind of way about your wedding. I would love to have a call with you outside of here. If you would like to talk to me, I would love to talk. So if you want to call me, if now is a good time, I think that would be perfect. Just so that I could get some clarity, because maybe just like you said, maybe I am missing some pieces. I really don't recollect like somebody escorting me out and like asking me to leave. I just don't
I that is not like resonating with me. So I would love to just get on a phone call with you, and it could just be me and you, and we could talk. I think that from our first consultation call, you kind of picked up on my personality, which is what I try to do on every consultation call when I first get a wedding. I try to figure out what brides are good for us to service and what brides would love to have us. I try to nail that down because I hate for things like this to happen. It sucks that you felt like we kind of like essentially ruined your day. I just, I know it was me and being unfortunate. It was unfortunate for me to be crying on your wedding day. And again, I'm sorry for that. I just didn't know. I wish I would have known that you didn't want to do any of the videos. We are so kind about not taking content for weddings. It's not something that we have to do at every wedding, and we don't do it at every wedding. We can't get every single wedding content. And we are very respectful. We've had people tell us no, and that's totally fine. When you got my preparation email, I say something along the lines in the preparation email of, before you get up from the chair, let us know any changes that you want to make, anything that you want to do differently so that we can make sure that we make those changes for you before we leave. I say little things like that to just try to get brides comfortable enough to just be able to tell us when we're doing something wrong, because there's no way for us to know if we're doing something wrong if nobody is saying anything. So if we were doing something wrong or imposing on you in regards to content, we would have just loved for you to say, I'm not feeling this. Like, I don't want to do this. Or even if Liz would have came to me in that moment and been like, let's like scratch the content, like the vibe isn't really feeling this. Like, and that's something we would have been open to doing. We have brides who say, we don't want content. We don't want you to film at our weddings. Like, and that's totally fine. We pack up the phones and leave them in the bags. That is okay with us. So I just wish that like that would have been communicated. I wish I wouldn't have had to take breaks at your wedding because I was just way too in my emotions, and it was just very unprofessional for me to be in my emotions that way at your wedding. It was just very unfortunate that had to happen to the both of us. Me making you feel some type of way at your wedding by crying, me actually crying at your wedding, being as though it's one of the biggest days of your life. That was never my intentions to go to your wedding and cry. When I first walked in, I said hello to everybody and I was very quiet. I tried to just kind of keep to myself. And I appreciate you. And I said, oh, like, can we change the song? And you guys changed the song, and that was very sweet. And like I said, I appreciate that. I appreciate you for trusting us with your wedding day. I apologize that it didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. I take full accountability for me and my team being behind that day. And like I said, I would love to just get off of here and just get on a phone call with you. Because I'm very sorry that you feel that way. That was just never my intention. It sucked that had to happen. So if you want to get on a call now, I'm very much open to it. I'm still up. By tomorrow, I just don't remember anybody like just escorting us out of the wedding and telling us that we had to leave. So I just want a little bit more clarity on that. So, if you want to call me, like, I got your number, you stored in my phone. All my brides have always been stored in my phone. So, if you do want to get off and have a conversation, I'm totally up for that. And with that being said, like, I'm going to head out. Mm-hmm. And again, I apologize to everybody involved. I'm sorry about whatever hurt I'm causing to anybody. That was never my intention. I never want to see anybody hurt. Weddings are my passion. I've been doing weddings for the last 6 years. I had this company for the last 4 years. Just like Helen said, a lot of brides are excited to find me and to find out we do offer something that's different. And it is very unfortunate that these are two bad experiences. Like, it's two bad experiences, and it really sucks. Like, and the whole time I'm thinking that I'm doing a good job. And I'm not, I'm failing people. So I'm just gonna, you know, Haven, if you wanna call me, my phone is open, it's wide open. And yeah, I'm here. So
The key before you leave, first I want to say thank you for coming up here. I did see your makeup. You do a phenomenal job, like absolutely phenomenal. You deserve all the props for your makeup and the hair and your whole team and all that. So I just want to say that first of all. I just wanted to ask, so before 9/6, have you ever had any type of situation that might be somewhat similar or that had to do with the same type of thing with the content thing?
no, it never happened. So like, this is all, I want to be totally honest with y'all. This is all new to me. This black and white wall that y'all see in the back of me, I've done hundreds of brides. The way that I started my company was just like how I was at Kiana's wedding.
Your camera isn't on, by the way, just letting you know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so you know. And then also, there you are. Okay.
The whole time I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking that it's on, and it wasn't on the whole time.
It wasn't on the whole time.
But,
no, it's fine.
But yeah, so the way that a lot of people are saying that the makeup artist is supposed to do this and the makeup artist is supposed to do that. What a lot of people fail to realize is, even if y'all go back into like reviews, and y'all see like there are brides write lengthy things about me on our platforms. They go above and beyond and they write all of these good things. I get thank you cards, long notes, long text messages. I post something from my bride earlier, Ashley, and she was a doll. She posted something nice about me on her story. But this is something that I've been doing for so long this way that is just a shock to me that this is happening. So I know everybody is saying like a makeup artist is, you know, supposed to do this and supposed to do that. But it's like this is all I know. This is all I know that my brides know. If that's it. And what I thought I was reaching the brides who really wanted to work with me. I don't know what that was. The same energy that I give to brides on a consultation call.
Sorry, that's just the gift gold, super loud noises. Sorry about that.
It's the energy that I give, throughout. From the very initial phone call, I tell brides that I hire based off personality and skill. I tell every single bride to have a consultation call. We are a team with a huge personality. We love to joke. We love to laugh. That's just how we are. We've always been like that. So I don't know anything else. I am open to whatever y'all think and whatever y'all suggest me to try, whichever ways y'all feel like I should do things for this company, because this is something that I wanted to create for Black women. Black women don't have the luxury of just going online and finding a hair and makeup artist. Just like you even said, it's a task to be able to find that, especially being able to find a big team. So this is all I know. I'm open to whatever criticism or whatever changes y'all think that I should make to the company or whatever y'all think that I should do different. I'm completely open to everything. I'm not a person that can shy away from it. I just had no idea I was making people feel this way because nobody has been saying it. I would have loved for somebody always oh my goodness. For people to just be that real with me is what I'm gonna be that. I get that. Everybody is not gonna speak up. I just wish that it would have went that way. Instead of me just being in the dark about what's going on.
Also, Key, when you posted the vid, like, first thing, why did you post all those videos? And then the second thing is, why did you take them down?
All right. So I posted the videos because I was ego tripping. I'm not even gonna lie. I was ego tripping. I was asked to leave Kiana's wedding one time, and that's when the coordinator came, and she said, the company would like for you to leave. This was after I came back. So let me also take accountability for coming back. I should have never come back. I felt I took that way too lightly, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have left and went home right after that. Right after the groom said what he said to me, I should have just went home. But I didn't. I came back, and that was where I messed up at. The narrative that's being played around with is that I was asked to leave somewhere multiple times, and people kept telling me to go, but that's not the case. Everybody smiled with me and laughed with me that day. Nobody said to me, "Hey, this is enough. Like, we don't want to do this anymore. Please just leave." It wasn't that. And it just wasn't that. And I would have really, really appreciated if somebody would have just said, "It's time for you to go, girl. Like, I don't mind being kicked out of nowhere. I do not mind being kicked out of anywhere." And I feel like at the moment when the groom cursed at me, that's when my ego tripped. At that moment, I felt just a little weak. I'm just like, dang, like, I ain't never had nobody talk to me like this at a wedding. Like, and I also felt like at that moment, it was the perfect opportunity because it was just me, him, and the bride standing there and nobody else around. I feel like it was the perfect opportunity when I asked about the TikTok to say, "We don't want to do this anymore. Like, we would just, like for your leave, thank you for your services, like, have a good night." Because I would have been fine with that. That's okay with me. I don't mind being told no. I get told no more than y'all think. I've been told no all my life. "No, Kazai, you can't do this. No, Kazai, you can't have that. No, you can't do this. Nobody's gonna let you do that." I've been told no all my life. No, it's not an issue for me. The issue is when everybody is not telling me, like, "Hey, this is enough," or "We don't want you here anymore," or that, and I'm okay with hearing that. I just wish that would have been it. But yeah, that's why.
Okay, no, and I appreciate your honesty about the situation, especially from your perspective. It's good to get everyone's perspectives here. Are you okay with answering more questions for other people as long as we're respectful? I don't know if you have time. I don't know if the host is okay with that.
Okay, y'all, so I got the rest of the story completely. So now here's my opinion. Once I found out that this entire wedding was an unplugged wedding, and I'm pretty sure from my previous videos you know what an unplugged wedding is. But in my opinion, if I was having an unplugged wedding where it's more intimate, you don't want anything online, no one should be knowing about this wedding unless you post something or you share the photos from your photographer, I don't think anybody at the wedding should be posting any videos or footage of your wedding at all until you have started posting things. Like, even when my sister was getting married and she said that she didn't want nobody to post anything until when she posted the pictures that she got from her photographer, which I think is fair because at the end of the day, it is your day, it is your wedding. So you do get to choose what you want at your wedding. And I can understand with the makeup artist, she's just so used to, recording everything when it comes to the wedding. So she also used it as self-promotion as well, which is, selfish plug for her. But in my opinion, if you're being paid to do a job, and I don't know if the bride have told her that she should not be recording or even posting her wedding on TikTok and all over social media, I think the bride should have made that very clear to her. And if the bride did make it clear to her and she still went on and post her wedding all over social media before she got to do it, the bride got to do it, I would have been upset too. So even though like you are a professional makeup artist, you weren't being professional in that sense if that is the case. In my opinion, I would have been very, very mad because I still have not seen or heard anything from the bride because obviously she's probably on her honeymoon enjoying herself after her wedding. So yeah, there are a lot of people from the wedding who were basically talking and telling us their opinions of what they saw, because a lot of people who were part of the wedding party never even got to see those videos. They never even got to record anything because they were told they're not supposed to. So that makeup artist, I don't know. I'm still kind of iffy because I don't think that they should have kicked her out and made her basically embarrass her on social media like that, although she did kind of embarrass herself because she was the one that was posting all the footage and all the clips and everything. but I think it's kind of bad for business for her in that sense, and also it's kind of embarrassing for her. And hopefully, you know, she'll continue to still get business, because at the end of the day, this is, you know, a Black company, a Black owned business. So I do support it, but we need to start learning about like true customer service and how we should be treating our clients and customers, and not, you know, doing any and everything that we want at the end of the day. You know, you have to really follow the rules whenever you are invited to an event. If they tell you do not post things, and that's the problem with a lot of Black people, is if they tell you do not post these videos, they're gonna post it. Without your consent, they're going to post it, because why? I already told you not to post it. It's my event. I told you not to post it, but you went and posted it anyway. Why? Because you look cute in that picture. And you didn't care about the people that were in that picture. You look cute in that video because you didn't care about the people who were in that video, and if they look crazy or not, you still went and post anyways. That's kind of a thing that a lot of us do. It's like we just go behind people's back and just post the videos because we look cute in it, which I understand. You know, if you look cute in a video, you don't want to waste a cute outfit, or, you know, a cute off guard picture or video of yourself. So I can understand that, but I think she was in the wrong. When I think about it, I think she was in the wrong, especially if the bride had already requested for her wedding to be completely unplugged. I think she's in the wrong for that. So that's my opinion on the whole situation with the bride being kicked out of a wedding drama. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.